because we are using the free version, 10 minutes is the maximum time for recording. So actually we will continue our discussion in fatigue. Because of this reason, what are the type of fatigue we can expect? Types can be physical fatigue, can be the one fatigue we can expect, because the fatigue is affecting to an employee or a worker, maybe because of the continuous workload of period natural work they have to be, it affects his physical characteristics. It's going to be feel tired after working for a continuous period. Another fatigue can be mental fatigue. A worker utilizes brain for doing a job for a longer period, so it's affecting the mental condition of a worker. Third fatigue can be nervous condition. If a worker having a physical fatigue as well as mental fatigue, it leads to nervous fatigue. Both of three, physical fatigue of mental fatigue and nervous fatigue of an employee, leads to industrial fatigue. So these can be the different types of fatigue. So how we can avoid fatigues? Some of the practical suggestion for eliminating fatigue can be less working hours. Usually 8 hours per day or 40 hours per week can be an ideal standard working time. So more than that can be leads to fatigue. Rest pauses, actually a rest pause of 10 to 15 minutes in between their works, like a mid morning, mid afternoon, can be helpful for the workers for taking a rest, and as well as these pauses will help them to refresh more. And shift workers, actually nowadays employees are working in different shifts. That's also will help to reduce the fatigue of employees. Other techniques, like as I said, the fatigue also can be mental fatigue. So for providing better working conditions, better working conditions, or it can be what we have said, providing cafeterias, etc. in the environment itself. Or some of the reasons we can avoid the fatigue level. Cause of other counseling for the employees will be another method for eliminating the fatigue level. So while these are about the fatigue, I said different terms in fatigue. What is the fatigue, and what are the factors which affecting fatigue, and also the type of fatigue, and also methods to eliminate fatigue, like the less working hours, rest pauses, shift workers, and other techniques, and other counseling for the employees. So this is the first term we need to study: fatigue. Another term along with the fatigue level is communication. We know that communication is one of the crucial term in industry. Communication, as we know, the communication can be broadly defined. It's a business of conveying information. If we need to share information, a communication should be there, right? It doesn't mean that communication should be verbal. It can be spoken, written, or non-verbal, using any sign language, whatever it may be. It's also all our communications. So by improving the communication industry, it means all type of communications, like verbal, written, non-verbal, through language or signs, whatever it may be, it should be improved. Generally, communications can be classified into two. One can be formal communication, and second can be informal communications. Generally, communication can be classified into two: formal as well as informal communication. What is a formal communication? Formal communication takes through official channels. It's the communication between the managers and the employees, between the subordinates, whatever it may be. It's the official communication. One thing we need to remember is, if it's a communication, it's official one, is either oral or written, it should be documented. It should be documented and keep it as a record. So generally, formal communications are two types: vertical communication as well as horizontal communication. Formal communications can be classified into two: vertical as well as horizontal. What is horizontal communication? As is clear, horizontal, in the same way, communication between two divisions, communication between employees with same rank, or communication between the same level in organization, whatever. It's a horizontal level. Here it's about horizontal, between the same rank. Vertical communication means as a vertical line. Either it can be upward communication or it may be downward communication. Downward communication means what? Flow of communication from top level to bottom level. Downward, from top to bottom. What is upward communication? From bottom to higher. These two communications should be there. The managers has to be communicated to the workers properly, and also workers has to be communicated to the managers properly. Second thing can be informal communications. It's a usual communication for which help the workers for a better involvement, like the usual jokes they have, jokes, rumors, discussions, etc. Informal communication should be the which helps the better working condition. It also help the workers for works better. It involve the social, satisfy the social needs. So these are the about communications. So communications will definitely help the industry through help us to clarify our points, help us to decision making. Also, it help the involvement of workers in the decision making. So this is the importance of communications. We need to remember two terms: what is communication, what are the different types of communication, and how effective communication in industry, which helps the importance of decision making. So these are the two terms we need to remember: first industrial relation, then fatigue, then communication. We will discuss the rest of things in the next topic.